Zap string.
Alright, hey you beautiful big kids, your boy Zatcho, and welcome back to some more Wuthering Waves. Today we're going to be talking about whether or not you should be going for Shorekeeper at the given time. And you say, well, Kuro dropped a new little piece of art for us, I'm going to steal that and turn it into a thumbnail, I'm just going to be honest with you. But yeah, so Shorekeeper. People are kind of, angry because of the low time frame on the banner. 11 days isn't enough time for you to really think about your options. So people are upset like, hey, this isn't enough time for me to really farm up or, do this, that, or the third. But devil's advocate, I always try to be reasonable. I think I'm a very reasonable person. They did tell you ahead of time that this would be happening, and you might be saying, well, they didn't tell us it would be 11 days, but they did tell you the this event cycle would be shorter, so we can get right into the anniversary. So if the first character had their full banner cycle, which is around 20 something days, that meant the second character would not have a full cycle. That's enough devil's advocate. Does it suck that she only has 11 days? I mean, obviously if you don't have her, it sucks. You have less time to try and get the character. I mean, it's a fucking no-brainer, guys. But Verena is an option. She's not as good. Some people might say, who needs Shorekeeper when we have Verena? Bitch, Verena is okay, but like Shorekeeper works on like every team Verena does and better except for like one kind of sorta. And that's just only with coordinated attacks. So like, go fuck yourself. But Shorekeeper is that shit, she's good. So I can see why people would be upset, just being real for a second. But here are your options. These are the only options you got, baby boy. So you sit down, listen up. You ain't got too much of a choice. So if you really want Shorekeeper, right, and you also really want the next character who is Zany, or the character after that, which is a character name I can never say unless I am looking at it or reading it. If you want Zany and Shorekeeper, right, I would say go for one copy of Shorekeeper until you hit your 5-star. Like, go summon until you get a 5-star, right? If you win your 50-50, happy days. If you lose your 50-50, fuck Shorekeeper. Alright? Okay, not like that. I know some of y'all dirty motherfuckers that are out there. Like, oh, I will. But no, I mean, forget about her until she comes back again. Because then that way you can have a guaranteed Zany, right? Because think about it this way, right? Just listen to me for a second. If you lost the 50-50 on Shorekeeper, right? Listen to me. Stick with me for a second. That meant you're going to lose the 50-50 on Zany. And Shorekeeper has just saved you from losing that 50-50. And you should be thankful and not be mad at her. And just wait for Zany to come to you. This is only if you want, Zany and Shorekeeper. Now, if you want the Sea Girl, who name escapes me, then you could probably just go for, your Shorekeeper. If you lose 50-50, you can probably keep going, get your Shorekeeper and then skip Zany and go for, Sea Girl. Now, if you want all three, I'm sorry to tell you this, bucko, but either you're gonna get real lucky or you're skipping Shorekeeper. There's just no other way, I mean, luck is a skill I've heard, so you better increase your luck stat. I mean, me personally, I invested all my stat points into luck when I was born, we all got a little menu when we first was in the womb. It's not my fault, yo dumbass didn't put it all into luck. Over here going for speed, perception, strength. Bitch, I said luck. That's all I did. Look at me, winning 50-50s like 90% of the time. Unless I lose. Anyways, so like, yeah, that's only your real options. Let's just be completely honest here. Like, you want all three, you're bringing. I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna make a joke that probably make people upset. But if you want all three, you're just gonna get lucky. Especially free to play. Those are just the facts. If you want all three, it's either get lucky or spend some money. That's the reality. At the end of the day, gotcha game. They want you to spend money. Let's be honest here. But at the same time, you can get by with a Verena until she comes back. Being completely honest. Like, is it a nice little upgrade? Yes, but if you've been going this long without a Shorekeeper, if you skipped it the first time, you would probably be fine. If you're a new player, then you probably have a decent, reserve of asteroid that you can still farm up throughout the world that would be able to net you at least getting, to your 50-50. For the first try. And again, if you lose 50-50, fucking stop, stupid. Like, let's not push our luck here. You're not me. You ain't got the big luck. Now watch this come back and bite me in the ass when Zany drops. That's gonna be a funny video. If I lose that 50-50, I'm like, damn, looks like I'm spending money. But, you see what I did there? Well, not lucky, so you spend money. But yeah, so that's only our real options. It is what it is. You just gotta sit back, relax, and be like, damn, it is what it is. But I'm not going to be mad at them only in this case because they did say, it'll be a shorter length of a update. So, like, I already fucking knew this banner was going to last that long. But also, I'm also the guy who's like, I'm getting Shorekeeper when she first comes out because that bitch is bad. But, it is what it is. But it's yeah, I mean, I get it. If you want a character, you want a character. But, yeah, there's your options on the whole summoning on Shorekeeper situation. Anyways, I love you guys. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.